Councilor Kassakhian.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I want to start by congratulating everyone who put themselves out there and chose to run for office in this cycle. Whether you won or you lost, whether you ran for city council or for school board or for the college board, our city was better off for the diversity of voices and opinions that the voters were able to choose from. And having said this, I am incredibly honored and deeply grateful for the vote and trust that the voters of Glendale have placed in me to continue to serve for another term. I don't have much to say this evening. I want to keep it very short. And I'm never short for words, but tonight I'm going to try to keep it short. I want to briefly and quickly thank my parents, thanks to whom I am who I am, my immediate family, Courtney and our son, and I want to thank the volunteers and individuals who kept our campaign moving forward with a message of positivity, honesty, integrity, and building upon the work we embarked on 4 years ago. I want to specifically thank Savannah and Jacob for the work that they did and the guidance that they provided. I see Davin here as well. They are truly gifted and with great knowledge and skill, and our victory is proof of this. And I use the first person plural, because this does not just belong to me, it belongs to each and every single one of you as well. I want to congratulate Councilmember Vartan Garbedian. As a former member of this council, as a former commissioner and an active voice in our community who continued to come and make his voice heard, even when he was off the dais and now he is back on. I look forward to working with you because I know how much you bring to the table, and I look forward to working with you and all of my colleagues. Now that the campaign is over, and I am hopeful that everyone will try and work towards what I believe is our common goal, to make Glendale safe, prosperous, inviting, and a place we can all be proud of. Now, I don't claim to have all the answers. I never claimed that I did. But what I hope can happen is that we as a community can listen to each other, put our differences aside, differences of opinion, and focus on facts, statistics, and evidence-based solutions to our challenges. From reckless driving, to littering and crime, to reliable and safe city services and utilities, and so much more, as was also mentioned by Councilmember Garpetian. So I plan to reach out to everyone who ran for office and invite them to present their ideas and suggestions on how the city can improve. I want those who share my love for the city to put aside their differences and share their ideas on how to make Glendale better for all of us. And I look forward to having these conversations with you. The rancor that has infiltrated the public arena has not done much to bring our community closer together. Everywhere I go, and I'm sure you hear it too, people want to talk about this and share their opinions about what has happened to the public discourse. And regardless of what side of the argument people fall on, almost everyone agrees that we need a better way forward. But to do that, we need to approach each other with kindness and respect. We must ask ourselves that if we are going to engage on an issue, are we adding to the sum and bringing something that enhances the discussion, or are we only trying to create a greater divide? That starts by trying to see things from the perspectives other than our own. One of the things I enjoyed the most during my first term was the regular coffee office hours I held in the community twice a week, once in Montrose and another in Adams Hill. It gave me an opportunity to hear from the community and speak to different neighbors. It was great until I had to end them because my class schedule for when I teach at Glendale Community College changed. I promise I am going to resume these office hours and try to maintain a regular schedule. So please stay tuned for these. And whether we agree or disagree, I will listen to your point of view, share with you mine. Where we go from there depends on what I have stressed before, our willingness to work together. If I miss thanking anyone, I apologize. Obviously, I look forward to working with staff and everyone here at the city. I promised myself that I would not give a long speech, so allow me to close with a short story that I would like to share that perhaps can serve as our guiding light in the coming days, weeks, months, and years for my second term on this city council. It is a story that I heard just recently when I was at church, thanks to Deacon Dominic, who stressed who tells the story of a stressed out woman who was tailgating a man as they drove on a busy boulevard. Now, when they come to a crossing, they slow to a stop, and because there was an older woman trying to cross at the crosswalk. And she was frail and needed help and fell right in front of the man who was driving the car. And two folks came from off the curb to help her across to finish crossing the crosswalk. Well, this took some time, and as there were delays, the woman started laying on the horn, rolled down her window, started cursing and screaming in frustration and gesturing angrily at the man. And eventually, the woman was helped across the way, and the man who was waiting there was able to make it through the intersection, but the light turned red, and the woman wasn't able to move forward. And as she was still there mid-rant, she heard a tap on her window and looked up into the face of a police officer who ordered her to exit the car with her hands up. He took her to the police station and placed her in a holding cell. An hour later, the officer returned and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. This has been a big mistake. When I pulled up behind you, I heard you screaming and yelling and gesturing at the person that was in the crosswalk and the person in front of you." And she said, "Well, yeah, this is a free country. I can say what I feel like and what I want." And he said, "Yeah, you can. You're right. It is a free country. But then I noticed your What Would Jesus Do license plate holder and your Follow Me to Church bumper sticker. And actually, ma'am, I just assumed the car was stolen. But now looking at your registration, I can tell you that you were just being a hypocrite." All of us will grow frustrated with each other on various issues and events in the city that transpire, things that happen in our lives, or with the world in general, when we may even find ourselves giving into a very short fuse. But before we speak or act, let us ask ourselves, are we acting in a way that is befitting to the moment and the place? And will what I say, do make our city a better and safer place, not just for some, but for everyone? So every week, let us work together, and in the words of Maya Angelou, we will do our best until we know better. And when we know better, we will do better. Thank you very much. God bless Glendale, and God bless the United States of America.